love to say confirmation because you hoes be trying it from every fucking angle, bro. I have a phone that works that I record on, and yet as I start talking about the bullshit that I'm dealing with, my shit shuts off. So we'll see if I get cut off again. I don't know if my VOD from just now got saved because it just cut off as soon as I started trying to expose my ratchet ass family. Guess what? There's more. It doesn't just involve my family. I'm sick of you hoes with an S. There's tiers, there's layers, there's levels, okay? So again, sorry if you didn't catch the first half. I was just shut off. My entire phone, everything just shut down. So I don't know what's going to happen with that content. I don't know where it went. And I'm not going to repeat all of it because, to be honest, I don't really know where I was and what I shared. But I will start with where the area was that I was at, which is that when you allow yourself to be manipulated sexually, even if you think that you're the beneficiary, you're the person that's getting the head, you're the person that's getting the money, you're the person that's getting the power, you're the person that's taking power, you are still a pawn. The person that you've had sex with, the person that you've hooked up with owns you. Even if you think they don't, they have the power to say, you are a weak person, you have no honor, you have no morals because I know you did this thing. And that's a lot of times how straight guys end up murdering their female partners because they find out, hey, you're actually gay. And then the guy that is actually gay is like, no, I'm not. And I don't want you to have that power over me to know this truth about me. So I'm going to take that power away, unfortunately. But that's a prime example of what sex work does, of what happens when you think you're winning in a situation you're not. Okay. So my father cheated on my mother, and I don't have daddy issues. This is my current life right now, okay? My father cheated on my mother with his now whore ass wife, okay? Because of that, my mother went into deep depression. She was already a narcissist. She was already not the most receptive parent. So I grew up very much detached from relationships because from the youngest age I can remember, my biggest haters, and I mean this, were my family. Like, I mean, literally clowning on me about shit that was their fault. Like, I don't want to get into it because people are like, "Are you serious? That really happened?" But yes, like my family would, um, my family would make fun of me about shit that they did to me, and be like, "Ha ha ha! This is the result of something that you have," but then they wouldn't admit or even acknowledge that they're the reason why that thing existed, right? And so that has carried up into my adulthood where I don't have relationships with people simply because it's not worth it. I would rather be happy and be by myself than pretend like I want to be in a relationship with someone who's just there to hurt me or who's ultimately someone I don't want to be around anyway, right? Like I don't care to appease other people for the lack of when people say lonely. I'm not fucking lonely. I'm alone. I'm not lonely, bitch. I'm not, okay? Trust me, I like me more than I like you, okay? But unfortunately, my father is a scammer, and he's been in Seattle where I live my whole life. And so because of the fact that I've lived in this state for a very long time, my father, who's a scammer, has also been in this state for a very long time. He represents himself as a person of the Lord, right? He's an ordained minister, wannabe Mason, never going to be on my level type shit, but we won't go there, okay? So when someone like that thinks that they have made enough connections and they have enough power to manipulate things as they see fit, they act on it. And unfortunately for me, my father has, and this is new to me, right? I didn't know these things because I don't think this way. Like, I'm not an evil person. I'm not a bad person. So these aren't thoughts that just pop up in my head. I don't watch murder movies. I don't watch murder content. So, like, there's a lot of people, especially females, that are like, oh, well, this must be what you're doing, or this must be the way you're going to react, or this must be what you're thinking because I saw this on TV. First of all, Netflix only shows you the negative shit on psychology for that reason, okay? They want you to have these negative thought patterns. They want you to think that you know psychology, that you know the way people think. If you go look up psychology on Netflix, if you go look up anything related to the mind, the only thing you're going to find is murder and sex. That's it. I swear. You won't find anything positive. You won't find anything about growth. You won't find anything about expansion, your consciousness, nothing. It'll just be things to keep you in this negative box of toxic thinking, like just everything bad, okay? Netflix is owned by certain people. We know this. The entertainment industry is owned by certain people, okay? We know this. And I don't want to say it's religious because, yes, there are certain religions that are often tied to these large conglomerates. A lot of people say, "Oh, it's the Jews, it's the Jews." No, okay, it's evil people. Period. There are people that are Jewish that have nothing to do with this bullshit. There are people that are Christian that have to do with this bullshit. There are people that are Muslim that have something to do with this bullshit. There are people that aren't. It's just people are full of shit, and they will try and claim different religions and different categories and different areas so they can use that as a cloak, as a way to get in, and then say, "Oh, well, you feel this way because look at Netanyahu, for example. He claims that he's representing Israel and Jews, but there are so many people that do not agree with him. Yet, here he is, okay? So it doesn't necessarily mean that it is a specific religion or anything. There are people that infiltrate for this very reason. Look up a Frankist if you're not sure. Again, this is some culty shit, occult shit. People think it's evil because they've been trained to think that, because if you knew this information, you would be able to think for yourself and you would see it everywhere and it would stop, okay? From as simple as, like I said, as simple as just cheating on a partner is enough to remove the honorable qualities of you to the point where you are no longer valid, you have no respect, nothing to honor. Okay, that is enough. That is enough. And then you move from there and you build your foundation off of something like that. And I'm not even saying that's where it starts, because you are mentally fucked if you already think that's okay. If you don't want to be with somebody, don't be with them. If you want to cheat on somebody, call your partner and be like, "We're done." Okay? I'm not gonna lie and say that I was in a relationship. Guess what? I went on a break. I fucking said, "Yo, I don't want to be with you no more." That's what you do. Okay? You don't just say, "Oh, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna sneak around." No. You make it clear, you make it known, you cut it off, you walk away. Okay? So with that being said, um, my family has slowly, over time, separated themselves from what I would call honorable paths in order to obtain certain things, primarily money, status, the approval of others, because they don't actually go within for what they need and for what is right. They essentially go out and look for things. And I'm not saying that religion isn't asking you to do good things, but a lot of times people think, if I just give my power to someone else, or if I expect someone else to give it to me, then I don't have to worry about it myself. That's not the way it goes. If you don't go learning something on your own, it's not going to come to you. You can go sit in school every day, but if you have headphones on, you ain't going to learn shit, right? If you put a hood on, you put your eyes down, you ain't going to learn. You're there, sure, but you're not learning. You're not taking it in. You're not recognizing what's going on. Okay, so my family has convinced people over time that I am like them, that I'm a scammer, that I'm promiscuous, that I worship money, all these things. None of these things are true. I have literally left the entire country to get away from these people without looking back. I went through college without speaking to my father or my mother for more than like 2 hours. The whole fucking 4.5 years. Yes, I went to WSU. So you know what I mean? It's like, don't act like you know me. Don't act like we have a connection. I am nothing like you people. And the fact that I am now being dragged into your bullshit because you can't handle it, and I have a title and I have respect and I have earned everything that I have, you think you can attach yourself to me so you can claim the good things that I've done and then throw me under the bus? Fuck you, okay? So, my father, again, he's a scammer. He's a religious scammer. He will literally take your shit and then pray for you, okay? He will literally send you to the hospital to be raped and then literally text you while you're in the hospital saying, "My pain is your pain." Well, guess what, bitch? You must be dead now, because I already died a shit ton of times, and you know what? Maybe you're living it up. Maybe you're in Disneyland, because I'm feeling real good these days, okay? I don't know where you are, and I will not ever give a fuck anymore, okay? When someone lies on you and they are seen as a trusted person that knows something about you, typically the people that they've lied to will believe you. And as someone who has never given a fuck about what anybody else thinks or says about me, I'm completely oblivious to it because I just truly don't care. And my thought process and the way I work is that when you know somebody, or you like somebody, or you want to get to know somebody, you will talk to them directly. You will not try to get information personally about that person. Or if you get information about somebody else from another person, you confirm with the person that you're talking about. That's how it happens, okay? Because again, people like to lie about who they are and their status so they can manipulate the way that people perceive them and others. I have no connection to my family. I have cousins that I'm okay with. My sister stole my medication and I ended up going to the hospital. My little sister, my older sister has testified me against me in court saying that I lied about being raped. She has always just thrown me under the bus because she's an insecure little bitch because she doesn't have a real fucking dad and she wants it to be my fault. And I tried very, very hard to make her feel included, but then she just tried to throw it back in my face that I'm somehow, I don't even know the way her brain thinks, but bitch, never ever could you ever, and I'm not. Okay, let's just know that. I just know that. Like you, miss you. Remember your wedding. Remember how I responded. Fuck bitch. Okay. And then I have, my dad's wife, who is an awful person all around. Again, she's the person that my dad cheated on my mom with. She literally tried to get me to help her with her cancer. Bitch died. The reason why you have cancer is because you deserve it. I'm sorry, but you literally send out so much toxicity that your body is oozing it. You're creating it in your body. That's you created it in your body. Okay, you don't want to have cancer. You want to be a normal person. Be a good person. Start sending good energy out. Stop being a toxic, disgusting bitch. Okay, you literally send out death spells. You literally sacrifice animals. You literally have an altar dedicated to harm. Okay, kill yourself. I mean it. I said it. You want to call the cops on me? You want to take me to court? I'll say it under the microphone. I just said it right now. I mean that shit, okay? If I tell you to kill yourself, I fucking mean it, okay? Do it. Do it. Anyways, so we have a situation where now these people think that they can attack my career and my life and my mind and my freedom because they don't want me to go. They want me to go along with their bullshit, which now includes me being a psycho crazy person that can't manage themselves, manage their money, etc. They're trying to get me to lose my job. I think I told you guys this shit before. They literally, I hope they paid this bitch because she did this shit for free. She real one. That they convinced somebody in HR for the Seattle Public School District, which is where I'm an employee. I've been teaching for over 10 years. They convinced this HR person to literally lie in court, saying that she hadn't received my medical documents, saying that I wasn't making communication and that I haven't been compliant with my medical requirements. So mind you, these medical requirements are simply based on a medical diagnosis that has now been proven by me to be a spiritual awakening. Okay, so people are trying to say, oh, you're crazy, you're running around, you're using no, bitch, I just don't like you. And when you come around me, I express that, and then you try and say that I'm bad. No, I don't fucking like you. Okay? I'm not like this to other people. I'm like this to you. I don't like fucking you. Stay away from me, and then you won't have to worry about this. Everything else that happens around me, yes, I am becoming a seer. Okay? Yes, that shit is real for me too. If I didn't have it happening to me, I wouldn't believe it. And when I tell you this, I studied this shit because I had to. It wasn't like, ooh, I want to dabble, who's cute. No, bitch, this shit really happened to me, and I need answers because at the end of the day, if I see something and then that shit really happens, and you're like, oh, then you didn't see this, bitch, I fucking, what are you gonna tell me? That's like me getting socked in the stomach and you being like, that shit don't hurt. You know what I mean? So it's just like, it is what it is. And it's crazy is crazy. Like, you can look this shit up. CIA has already released this information. These are things that are real and that for the obvious reason that people don't know about it is for control. The fact that people are still convincing themselves that this fake is part of, it's proof that their control is working. Okay, so if you've gotten this far and you think that I'm this like crazy psycho person for even saying these things, you are part of the problem. You are the ignorant one. And I don't mean that in a rude way. I mean that in a educate yourself because it's right in front of you and all you have to do is pick up a book or look at the actual evidence that's been released to the public. What do you think they're just gonna be like bitch, look at the stars, look at all this stuff, you're just like, no, I don't believe it, okay? Then go fucking stay over there with the bag on your head, but don't try to like push your shit onto me, okay? So I know what I know, I know what I've seen, I don't know what I don't know, right? And when there's people who are aware of what you know, they're aware of what you have access to, and they don't have that access, or they want to have control over your access, they will do fucked up things. And people do this shit for money, they even do it for power. A lot of them are so stupid, they think that if they can control you, it will somehow give them the ability to do the things that you do. No, you're cursing yourself. You're giving yourself cancer. You're making your life worse. You're giving yourself another kick down the notch in your next fucking life if you're allowed to come back along, right? And I do mean allowed because this isn't the best place to be, and you still might not get back here, okay? So with that being said, I have people that have been trying to give me AIDS, give me herpes, have me kidnapped, have me drowned, have me trapped in sex trafficking, just a whole bunch of bullshit. And this is in the last like year. I mean, it's been going on for a long time, but it's gotten really heavy in the last few years. There's trafficking happening amongst children in my school district. I identified it. I tried to say something about it. going on. Okay, so here I am, living my life, trying to be my own keep to my motherfucking self. I know people do illegal shit, but you're not messing with me and you're not hurting someone. I don't fucking care. Now they're coming for me, so I have to come for you. Okay? I report you all you motherfuckers, FBI, CIA, and the fucking Galactic, because I'm done with it. I'm sick of you fucking hoes, and I don't have to deal with it. I haven't been dealing with it because you're trying to bring me down. If you haven't noticed, I'm fucking protected. Try and crash my car, try and get me fucking DUIs, try and do all this shit to kill me, and here I am. How many times do you need to see that you ain't shit? Okay? What do you want me to do? Physically hurt you? Of course. Because you know if I did that, then I would be the one to get in trouble. But you don't want to come to me on some bullshit. You want to try and do it in the background. Alright? You're a fucking loser. Okay? That's what that's called. Point blank period. So that's just my family, okay? That's my family. Now moving into the actual school work employment situation. Like I said, I've been a teacher for over 10 years now, not consistently, but once you're a teacher, you're always a teacher, so and so. And so when I see these things happening, again, I have students from all over the world. I have students from all walks of life. I have students that came in homeless and are now rich. I have students that have been rich and now they're homeless. I have students that break the law. I have students that make the law. They're all my kids. I don't treat them any different. They're kids. They're kids. They're kids. To me, forever, they're my kids. So when it comes to crime, don't expect me to be like, oh, well, I know you did this crime, so I'm going to report you. I'm not a fucking snitch. If you're not hurting someone, then you're not hurting someone. If you're trying to pull me down with you for some bullshit, I will come for you physically, mentally, and I will probably try and send people on you too. Okay? And that, like I said, I've got people trying to get me fired because of their bullshit. Because they want me to be leased into their pedo sex trafficking ring, which I'm not. I might be a cool teacher. I like to party, all that, but no, I don't party with my kids. No. Even if my kids tell me they're partying, I'm going to tell them not to. I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, good job. No. If my kids tell me that they're doing drugs, I'm just like, you're stupid. Even if I'm supposed to say something to another person to get them in trouble, I know that my connection with that kid is more important than punishing them in that moment because there's just so many things that these motherfuckers don't know. Okay, period. That's just so many other people that, even if the drug and alcohol counselor still have as much experience and education in these subjects as me. Okay, so I'm not trying to be an asshole, have all this authority. Look, I know what the fuck I'm talking about from experience, from education, and so forth. All right, so we'll just say that your kids, my kids, I got your back. You're subject protected. I'm not here to hurt you. I'm not here to get you in trouble. However, these motherfuckers are coming for me, so I need to make sure you know what's going on so you can protect yourself and you can not worry about me and not think that I'm coming for you. Okay? Because I know that that's another spin that they have and will continue to try and put on the situation. Like I said, I've also reported this shit to the FBI and CIA because again, my life is in danger. Once you get fucking drugs and people I don't know involved, people just use this shit for change. And I do mean change because they don't even realize how much they're fucking their life up for. What? Maybe $30,000 if they're lucky. But congratulations, you just sold your soul for something that can get repoed. Are you feeling better about yourself? Okay. But yeah, so here I am working from home, making my videos, and now I have my family trying to send me into psychosis by enlisting my neighbors. And these are the neighbors right here. They own a body shop. I don't know what it's called now, but they keep changing the name because their shit apparently smells like actual ass and rotted meat. But they've been like recording me, trying to like hook up sound bites from my home, literally getting people out in front of my house to harass me, literally like banging on my door, like all this I'm pretty sure that would be like gaslighting 101, like PTSD starter pack. I don't know, but like that, there's something very wrong with that. Okay, so this is what happened to me. I get to the hospital. They immediately shoot you up with drugs. Now, this is important for those of you that are going through a spiritual awakening. You will be treated like a psychotic fool. You will be treated like a fucking criminal. You will be treated like someone who should be shot and put down because people are afraid of you. That is not your fault. It's the fault of the people who refuse to educate themselves and use their eyes to see what's going on. My hope is that I can work with people in the justice system, I can work with the police department, I can work with people in health and medical situations who identify when people are having a spiritual awakening versus actual schizophrenia, actual drugs, actual whatever the fuck is going on. Like there are differences. People don't know what they are because they don't know what to look for because they haven't experienced it. So this is what I've been going through, and this is what I've figured out. I get to the hospital, they want to shoot me up with drugs, they want to change my drugs, they want to monitor me like a fucking lab rat. Because yes, the medical field is in on this. Dr. Gross, I see you, and I want to help you. I know you're a cause, but I still want to help you. Okay, so we're in a situation where now someone's saying, I'm going to put you on a new hospital drug. It's going to fuck you up for a good month. But then, once that's done, we get to watch you, charge you, and see how your body is interacting with that. Wow, really? Bullshit. No. So, thankfully, I have a doctor, psychiatrist. I call my doctor because he doesn't want me to call myself a doctor. He's like, I got this. But you don't fucking know me. I don't know you. Like, what the fuck? We're not dating. I don't even have a whole conversation with you. What the fuck is going on? So I'm like, okay, well, talk to my actual psychiatrist. She's like, no, 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 you need to know, like, you can't do too much hospital. So talk to her. She's like, don't change your legs, leave her alone. That's what happens. I come out a few days, everything is fine. I've been fine ever since. Same with you, motherfucker, who caused me to happen, right? I know what's happening with my body now because I was allowed to remember what happened to me. If I were to have been kept in the hospital, if they were able to take away my regimen, my current regimen, and switch it up and stuff, my memory gets wiped. I don't remember anything. I wouldn't have remembered what happened before I left, and I wouldn't have remembered what happened during and after. There's like literally like 2 months of my brain would have been wiped because somebody says, oh, I know what's going on, I'm going to change your meds. Now, this is part of a recoaching thing. So we have a person that's initiating the psychosis of driving it from my neighbors to my family, knowing what's going on, following the plans, knowing my patterns, then bringing in an obstruction of justice, which is having the police access to my phone and essentially do these things to make it seem like what they're doing is righteous and legal, taking reports, whatever they thought was true wasn't true, right? But nonetheless, send me to the hospital, do evaluations that are not moral, right? Drugging someone up and then asking them questions after they've been drugged. That's like giving a girl a roofie and then being like she didn't say no. Okay, bitch. How is somebody supposed to work with their girlfriend after you've done something like that to them? Okay. So I'm okay. I'm here. Again, my hope is that I can use this information, my own experience to educate people because I know it sounds crazy. I literally live this shit. My master's is in this exact subject and I'm still mind blown by it. Okay, I mean I've reached out to professors knowing I sound crazy just to be like, okay, I need you to know this because this might be my last stop, and at least you will know. Like at least there'll be some evidence of something that was going on because it's that serious, right? Like even if there's one person that believes one part and they don't believe all of it, the people that believe each part that they know is true is enough for the truth to exist, right? So, sex trafficking and drug trafficking at my school, there are actual teachers that know that. So there's not a debate about that against me alone. There are teachers that actually know that. There are staff members that actually know that. Now, as far as the hospital situation, most people wouldn't believe that either, but there are people in the hospital that know that. So I combine those two things. If it was sex trafficking in the hospital, people would be like, oh, you're crazy. But if each of them individually, the same people would, oh, it's true. So remember what I said at the very beginning, and I think this is an understanding. I have had experience in this very, very vast, like, array of things, okay? It's not just me reading books, it's not just me guessing and hypothesizing on stuff. So this is what's going on. The Rico situation has, from the family to their enlisted minions, right, my neighbors, anybody else they can get. I've had people like literally like vandalizing my house now, taking things from the front, like literally removing property, like breaking property, um, just like tracking me, like all sorts of stuff. My cameras have been hacked. I made police reports about that. The police reports got deleted. I was molested, raped. All these things had police reports. Those police reports have been deleted. health condition. Now, mind you, the people that are blaming me with the mental health condition are the same people that are getting profit off of watching me run a fucking rat race for living a fucking medicine prescription fucking pharmaceutical brand because they want that control, right? The more they tell people there's something wrong with them, maybe help, the more money they can get. And when all these people get together, that sometimes you don't even know they're working together. They're just like perpetuating these systems that feed into each other. Okay, so that's what's going on with that. Okay, that's the whole situation. That is from work to family and my medical situation. Okay, so that's what I've been going through lately. On top of that, all right, there's a lot of spiritual warfare going on in my life. So when you're someone, and I don't like to use the term chosen, but a lot of people do. To me, it sounds very righteous. So when you're someone who has access to this information, I believe anyone can have access to this information if they actually do the work and know what to look for. It's not a power thing. It's not I'm governing you. I think you can't. It's literally people controlling these things that they think they can't have because they don't have the mindset, the fortitude, or the fucking purpose, the fucking the understanding to get those things. They're just gonna, like, I don't know. If you want these things so bad, maybe just do it. If you want a nice body, maybe go work out. Like, I'm gonna go fucking get surgery. Okay, but now your body's useless. So what? You look okay, but you can't move, right? Like those people that like anyway, I don't get into it, alright? But this is the reality of the situation. People see that other people have these gifts, other people have the ability to see, other people have the ability to draw things, move things, all of this stuff. But instead of saying, I can do that too, they say, I can steal that from you. Okay? That's a problem. So we have in Seattle a lot of tech companies. We have a lot of people that have made large amounts of money, profit, development because of their access. Now, I'm not going to say that there are parts of the world that are more powerful than others, but there are energy grids or certain areas of the world where you can um, obtain more information faster. And Washington has been pretty one of that. Okay? If you think about a lot of the big tech companies that started in certain parts of the world, this is one of them. I felt a very strong energy exchange when I was in Melbourne, Australia, which I mentioned before. Uh, in Seattle, there are so many people that have identified ways to make money from other people. Rather than doing it themselves, they think they're these higher ups that have identified these patterns, and now they think they're playing this game of chess and they're moving pieces, not realizing that there's a bigger fucking there's a bigger fucking everything. Oh, like looking over them and watching them slowly sink deeper into the pits of not having anything ever in real life. And I mean life that's outside of this world. Okay, so we have people that are now controlling the music scene or the party scene in this state. You can't go anywhere where there's not premium, high BPM house music. I mean, it's gotten to the point where house is played so much if you've never been to the United States, you probably wouldn't know that there's other music. You'd be like, oh, this is just the way music sounds. No, it's controlled that way because people want to have a certain environment that they can power through. If there is, let's say, rap music or R&B music being played, there are certain people, unfortunately, that are going to feel superior to other people in that space. Maybe because they can dance. Maybe because they don't know the songs as well. Maybe because, yeah, the type of people that like that music aren't the type of people they feel necessarily confident around. I want to say safe because that's a mindset. If you're afraid to be around certain people, that's your problem, not other people's problem. You're insecure. That's all it is. You're insecure. So we have people that are controlling these places via music because they think if I can control the music, I can control the people that come. And if I can control the people that come, more people will like me. And if more people like me, then I get the money, I get the power, all of that. Now what you're doing is you're sucking the life out of the situation to the point where no one's having fun, nobody's dancing, nobody's enjoying themselves, and you are wondering why nobody likes you still. It's because nobody's having a good time, period. Okay? It's not even you, it's everything. Maybe, if you try to be a little more diverse in your situation, you have a little bit more diverse results. Ever think about that one? Okay? Maybe try something different and what you're doing ain't working. Everything is falling apart. Our fucking school systems are falling apart. Our social systems are falling apart. Our political systems are falling apart. It's because people think that their preferences should overpower what is. They think that the more they take away our options, the more that they're going to have some sort of benefit. It's hurting everybody, okay? We have
money if you don't feel like that person. You aren't that bitch if you had to lie, cheat, and chill to get that. I can't imagine, and I'm just being 100% honest. Maybe it's because my brain doesn't work this way, but I can't imagine that you lie to get everything that you want, and then you're happy. Because even just like I've had friends, especially females, are like, oh well, I'm gonna do this for this guy. I'm gonna pretend like I like these things, and like I don't really like sports, but if I say I like sports, then he's gonna let me do. No, no. What's gonna happen is he's gonna believe you. You're going to lie, and after a certain amount of years, you're gonna recognize that you don't like each other because you have nothing in common, and you're both gonna be fucking miserable. Okay? That could be with anything. You say you like a certain kind of food, you like a certain kind of music, and then you get together and you do those things, and you're miserable every fucking time. I'm talking to my second husband right now. Don't lie about who you are, and you won't be unhappy. If you are true to yourself, if you're honest to yourself, you will find someone who also is like you, who appreciates the things you appreciate, who likes the things you like, or who appreciates the fact that you don't like that, and you will get along. But if you're lying to yourself and lying to someone else to get something that is probably material or it's, worldly based, you're fucking up, you're fucking up everything. And I do mean everything. It's a butterfly effect, okay? So I don't know. I'm just saying this because I'm sick of these hoes. Motherfuckers have really been trying to get me to ruin my career. And by ruin my career, I mean they're lying on me, trying to say that I do drugs, that I. Oh, that was another one. Sex trafficking. So there's some bitch, and there's more than one, I'm sure, but there's one in particular who there's a large group of sex ring. I don't give a fuck what you do for your money. If you're happy, if it's consensual, more power to you. I will never judge someone, especially there are people that like having sex a lot. They're nymphs. If they enjoy that, let them. Okay, let them. But to try and use someone's name or likeness, to try and use their voice, to try and pretend and do a certain angle of someone's body so it looks like you're someone you're not. Yes, bitch, I know you are there. Trying to pretend like somebody that you hung out with is now part of your sexcapade so you can trap motherfuckers into coming into your space for money or for control to spread more STDs, lies, whatever the fuck it is. I'm gonna fucking come for you. Okay? And you're lucky that I am not area